Legendary cold cheese pizza. Today, I'm checking out Sal's Pizza in Oneonta, New York, which was recently acquired by my cousin. And you've seen him here on the channel before. I really want to try some of this cold cheese pizza in Oneonta, and let's see what else looks good. And that's starting right now. My family has some deep ties to the pizza culture in Oneonta. Stick with me. This is only a small portion of the family tree, so if I can keep it straight, so can you. I mentioned my cousin Bobby recently acquired Sal's. We'll get back to that in a second. His dad, Celestino, otherwise known as Sal, opened Pizza Land with his brother Bob nearby in Otigo when we were kids. Back to Main Street, another uncle, Frank, owned Mama Nina's, now known as Nina's, which is a couple of doors down from Sal's. Further up Main Street, there's a place called Tino's, which is known for a thing called cold cheese pizza, and a subject for a future video. My family didn't have much to do with that place to my knowledge, but cold cheese pizza is a thing where a freshly warmed slice of pizza is topped with cold cheese right before consumption. It's become a part of the pizza legend in Oneonta, which originated because drunk college kids were burning their mouths on hot slices of pizza at 3 a.m. A few years before Bobby bought Sal's, I stopped into Sal's to try their cold cheese pizza, and it couldn't compete with Tino's. Let's pay Bobby a visit and see if he's made any improvements. So here's the deal. Bobby doesn't even know we're coming today, so we're gonna surprise him. We'll see his reaction. The one thing I want to try here at Sal's is the cold cheese pizza, just because it's an Oneonta special. Apparently it was originated in Tino's Pizzeria. At night, kids were coming in from the bar and they were drunk as hell, and in order for them not to burn their mouths, the owner felt really bad. He was throwing cold cheese on top of the pizza. This way they didn't burn their mouth, and it turned into a legendary thing. For me, it's something that in the last 5 or 6 years became kind of a funny little meme within my own little circle, in my own little head. You know, my family never really told me about it, and I'm gonna try to get into that a little bit with Bobby when we get in there too.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good, how you doing? Looking for Bobby A.
He'll be here in like 20-30 minutes.
20-30 minutes, okay. All right.
He said he'd roll in about noon today.
We missed him. My visit was unannounced, and I'm sure Bobby was up late the night before serving college kids. So we placed an order with the staff to munch on some stuff while we waited for Bobby to come down. We got Noah a plain slice, some garlic knots, a large pie, and a slice of the cold cheese. All right, I'm about to try this cold cheese Oneonta pizza. Let's see how it tastes. You get the benefit of getting it crisped up in the oven, and then it's really hot, and then the cheese kind of melts as you eat it. It's so good. Making a mess. All right, Noah, cold cheese pizza.
Let's see how it tastes.
Part of what I like about the cold cheese is that when I worked with my dad making the steam table delights, I would always sneak a pinch of the cold shredded mozzarella. This is like a hot slice of pizza with that on top. It's not the slice you're gonna go for on a regular basis, but when in Oneonta, it's something you have to try. Bobby still wasn't there when our larger pizza was ready, but the staff took good care of us while we waited. We ordered the Meat Lovers pizza, which had pepperoni, ham, sausage, and bacon. Definitely an oily pie because of all the meats, and I totally didn't realize it as I was eating it, but I was making a mess with all the oil all over my pants. But one thing you gotta know about me is I ain't gonna be blotting with napkins or anything, so making a mess it is. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up so YouTube shares it with more people like you. We were expecting to see my cousin here as soon as we got here, but he left for the staff to open up today, and we're basically already done. But he just rolled in, so we're gonna say hello. Earlier in the video, I showed you guys all the history on the block here and all the different uncles, and you got to see about 1% of my family in terms of, you know, our involvement here in Oneonta. Bobby recently got this place, Sal's, and I wanted to introduce you guys to him. If you've been around long enough, you've seen him on the channel before. Really excited because it's really cool to get some history back on this block in Oneonta.
I was just telling Jerry, we were talking about the history here, and he probably mentioned to you about 40 years ago, about 30 years ago, excuse me, I don't want to make myself sound that old. You know, we came to this area, many of our family was involved in the pizza business. 30 years later, I find myself on the same block that I was on when I was 5 years old. When I was a kid, I wasn't doing much anything but watching, you know, my dad and uncles do the work, but it's now in my blood to do it. And I've been here about 6 months now, owner of Sal's New Classic Pizzeria. Very interesting story because this place originated in 1977. So was I, originated in 1977. Sal's sort of legendary here on the main street of Oneonta, and my father's name was Sal. And so I feel kind of like this is like the perfect place for me to be. And it's been really wonderful so far. And we're making small changes along the way. We've added a new classic addition to the name just to kind of go with the vibe of that we want to keep the old ways happening, but we got to always be looking towards the future as well. That's me in a nutshell. If you really want to experience it, you just got to come here around 2 or 3 in the morning on a Friday or Saturday night during the college season and experience a cold cheese slice of pizza, or you know what, just experience the fun that we have here. What happens at Sal's stays at Sal's.
And this cold cheese thing is a point of contention because all my life, my family has owned pizzerias here in Oneonta, but I've never heard of this cold cheese. You would think if my family were so involved here, they would at least tell us that it was a thing. I didn't find out it was a thing until about 2016. It's crazy. We didn't get too much of a chance to spend time with Bobby because he was busy. I mean, I love seeing it busy in there. Pizza was amazing. I would definitely recommend if you're in Oneonta, check them out. They don't advertise the cold cheese. It's on the menu, but it's not something where it's like jumps out at you. That's more the MO of Tino's, which I'll do in a future video. If you enjoyed this video, check out our pizza adventures right here. There's a lot of cool stuff there.